This year I finished the Arizona BDR, the Utah BDR, and the Idaho BDR. So basically I rode from Mexico to Canada on my Honda CRF450L. And for the most part, this is the setup I used. Basically, it's the same stuff for all three with a few changes along the way. The first thing I bring is a tarp. This can go over my shelter, this can go over the bike if it's going to be a downpour and I don't want to get soaked. And it can also be a very convenient ground cloth to lay out so that the stuff you're reviewing and bringing out for people to look at doesn't get all dusty. Let me start off with, I used Kriega's Trail 18 semi-waterproof pack. I say semi because it's got waterproof parts and non-waterproof parts. And this carried my water, a bunch of my food, spare tripod, tire pressure gauge, little cruise control Whoozy Whatser, my recovery strap, some electrolytes, spare strap, toe warmers because it's really cold sometimes, but the most important thing, which I can't seem to get out, I have a spare battery. But the most important thing I carry in here is my InReach Explorer. It's the kind that can actually text. So not only can you hit the button and say help, 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 you can also hit the button and say help. I broke my leg, somebody else broke their leg, my world's on fire. You can actually tell the responders exactly what the nature of the incident is. And you can also talk to other people as well. If you need to hit the button, it's great if you're hitting the button for somebody else to tell whoever your emergency contact is I'm okay, I'm doing this for somebody else. I have a headlamp, I got a roll of TP, and here I got a ton of gloves. I got my waterproof gloves, I got non-waterproof gloves. This is also usually where I keep my spare warm layers that when I take off they go in here. So that's what's all in my backpack. That and a 3-liter water bladder. Okay, next up I have my Mosko Moto Hood 5 tank bag. Since adding the Nomad tank, this sits back a little far, so when I want to move forward, it's kind of in the way. I'm trying to figure out a way to shove this whole thing forward just a little bit. Haven't quite worked it out yet. This tank bag is waterproof. It opens really easy. This tank bag is waterproof. It opens really easy. It's one-handed. It's just a hood and a compartment, and inside there I keep my camera and my GoPro stuff, goggle wipes. Up in the top lid compartment, there's all kinds of stuff in here. Helmet locks and extra cords and a little tiny flashlight and whatever stuff that tends to get lost. There's also 2 compartments front and back. Like I said, I got goggle wipes in there. And yeah, that's pretty much all that lives in there. Mainly because when I take the camera out, anything that's loose in there gets in the way of putting the camera back in. And you know, I like to do things quick, take it out, take pictures. If it's a pain in the ass, I won't do it. So I try to make everything as least a pain in the ass as possible. So that's what I carry in my tank bag. The Mosko Moto Reckless 80, if you're unfamiliar with it, is basically 3-4 waterproof bags. You can order extra waterproof bags to hang below, but it's a holster system that holds these bags in place. When you flip it open to get to the top bag, what you get is a Stinger 22 liter, and this is a dry bag, and it's made of the same material that all of these are. It's super burly, rubberized like a rafting material, stuff that they make rafts out of. This one will turn into a backpack. It's got a lot of attachment points so you can tie it down. And in here on top, and you see how light this is? Because I keep all the heavy stuff down low, the light stuff up high, so it doesn't affect the bike quite as much. I got an extra layer, I got a fleece. My shoes, these are just water shoes, and I like them because they squish flat, so they don't take up any room. Got my goggle bag with my clear lenses, and then I've got another little backpack, and then my dirty laundry's in the very bottom. And in this backpack is my change of clothes and toiletries and all that stuff. So when I get to a hotel, if I get a hotel, I can just grab that bag and pull this out, and I'll kind of be basically ready to get my shower and go out and find some coffee somewhere. Okay, in the right-hand side, there are 3 clips, and then this pulls out. This is basically all my camping stuff. It's the first bag I pull out when I get to camp, and it contains my tent. This is the MSR Hubba Hubba NX. Super lightweight, super small. It's divided into 2 parts right now because the rain fly got wet. So I wanted to keep the rain fly away from the main part of the tent. So that's the tent. Whoop. The tent poles come in their own bag, right? And Moto provides that with the Reckless 80. You want to keep your tent poles away from everything else because they have 100 little sharp edges that wear through things. This is my blow-up mattress. This happens to be the Climate Static V Deluxe. I don't know, it's the big one. I'm a side sleeper, so this thing is about yay wide and about yay tall. It takes forever to blow up, and I get all lightheaded and dizzy and half pass out. But I sleep really good on it because it's super comfortable, and again, it's huge. So in the bottom, in its own little waterproof bag, is my sleeping bag. This is a 0-degree bag. It's down, so it packs down pretty small. And again, it's pretty warm for how small it is. I also have a 30-degree bag that's about, I don't know, not quite half as small as this, that I like to use, but only for summer camping. And right now, the nights have been getting down into the 40s. So remember on the rating on sleeping bags, if you don't know this, this is how cold it'll get that you can survive in. Not that you'll be comfortable in, that you'll survive in. So that's that. That's all my camping stuff. Again, tent poles are a little dusty. Tent poles are in its own little bag, and you can see all the wear through spots. I mean, these bags are basically a throwaway item after a little while. Everything on a bike vibrates, and it will cut through whatever it can. Still on this side, I have my, in its own little waterproof bag, is my tool roll. Now it's pretty disorganized. I actually got some things that fell out. And I'm a Mosko Moto fanboy, I really am. This is their fatty tool roll, and it is super organized. Basically, I've got all the wrenches I need, a couple extra little doodads here and there for repairs on the trail, but I ride a Honda, so just saying. I carry tools for other people. This is like miscellaneous and cooking stuff. So I got a whole bunch of garbage bags. I've got my food bag, which is almost empty. So tonight we're gonna have beef stroganoff with noodles. I like to stop in town where I can and eat at a restaurant and then go out and camp. I don't need to eat right before I go to bed. So, you know, a couple hours difference isn't a big deal. But sometimes when you're out in the middle of nowhere and there are no restaurants around, these things are good things to have. And they're actually not too bad. I also have breakfast in there as well. So, food bag. What else you got? There's a canister for a jet boil. And here's the jet boil, and I have, this is my little insulated mug. You can get the cheaper ones that are single wall, but number one, your coffee is going to go cold really, really fast. And number two, when you go to pick it up, if you forget to not grab it by the handle, you're going to burn your fingers. So, just saying. This one's double walled, insulated, really like it. Snow Peak, titanium. Don't ask me where I got it, I have no idea. And this is a jet boil I've had for 1,000 years. First aid kit, just your basics. Basically all you need is gauze and a lot of tape, and you can fix almost anything. This is actually basically a koozie for a Nalgene bottle. But what I have in is my spoon, I've got some coffee, I've got that lighter, I've got, of all things to keep with your food, I've got some bug spray, I've got a platypus water bottle, right? If I need to go get water somewhere, normally I have enough water in my 3-liter Nalgene that I just camp with that and use that as my water. But if you need extra, and then of course, John never goes anywhere without coffee of some kind. Okay. What else do I got in there? I've got, here's another little Hydro Pack water bladder. I think this is 2 liters, just in case. I've got the jumper cables for my, oh, you can't see it. I have a battery pack that is also a jumper, and I can recharge everything. My phone, the GoPro, my GPS tablet, I don't know, maybe 10 times off the thing, so it lasts forever. And then these are just the jumper cables in case I have to jump someone's battery. What else? Here's another cylinder. This is a spare inner tube for the front tire, since most of your punctures are going to be in the front, and allegedly a 21-inch tube for your front tire will work in a pinch for your back tire. So instead of carrying 2 and the extra weight, I just carry 1, plus I have a patch kit in my tool roll. And that's it for this bag. All right, the next thing, also back here on this side, man, this is dirty, dirty, dirty. This is my Sea-Line waterproof bag. And I don't care about the waterproof, I care about kerosene proof and oil proof. So in here I carry everything I need to work on my chain. This is kerosene, it's dark and dirty because I've used it. I have a toothbrush I'll dip in there, and I'll actually take the time to clean off every link, and then when I'm done with that, this is Renthal chain oil, which is basically pretty gear oil, and then I will lube every link. And then I've got a whole bunch of little baggies that have rags, clean, and then gloves, rubber gloves. So there's my funnel. You know, everybody wants to see that. Y'all saw my Works Connection oil change jobby. I think I did a video on that. Go back and find it. This thing is really great for changing your oil on the trail if you want no mess, no muss, no fuss. And then for my funnel, this is my funnel. It's just one of those silicone squishy ones. And this one, I don't know where I got it. eBay, Amazon, AliExpress, I don't know. It fits perfectly inside your fill tube, and then the rest squishes back into the engine compartment, and it actually holds it there, so it just stays by itself. And then you dump your oil in, and it's all good. And the last thing in there, and I did a video on this, so I'm not going to go over it again, but I will explain how it works. Here's another one of those Hydro Packs. It's a 2-liter Hydro Pack. It's really heavy material. The top is super leak proof, and what I do is I take a 2-liter Nalgene bottle, I fill it up with whatever oil I'm going to use, which is Moto. Fill it up to 1,200 milliliters, right? So it's pre-measured. Pour that into here, and then I don't have to do the whole pour it in and check the dipstick. I know how much oil I have. I can just pour it in, seal it up, and then I'm done. You see it's empty. I already did an oil change. What I'll do for oil changes is I will find an empty either 2 1-liter like Gatorade bottles or one big 2-liter soda bottle. They're everywhere. Go find one in the trash, I know. I'll find a garage or especially a motorcycle dealership. If you can find a Honda dealership and tell them what you're doing, that you're on a BDR and you need to change your oil, and can you drop the oil off with them? As long as you have a good story, most places will just say, sure, yeah, bring it by, and they'll take your oil and they'll get rid of it for you. And that's what I did on this trip. So shout out to you, Five Valleys Honda, out of, what town was I in? Missoula. So shout out to you, Five Valleys Honda in Missoula, Montana. You guys are the best. I have an extra pack back here. This has the tripod in it so that when I stop to take pictures, I can quick pull it out, set it up, put it back in. The camera is right now sitting on the tripod. That's why you can't see it. This pack up here is an extra add-on. Again, these two things, when I need them, I don't want to mess around getting to them. So in here is my cycle pump. It is big. It does weigh a little bit, but it has been so far dead nuts reliable, and it fills tires so fast. I keep this in my truck to fill truck tires when it's not on the bike. I cannot say enough good stuff about these pumps. This thing is just works. It just works. And then the last thing I have in here is, and I think I showed you this, the Enduro stand that I use to jack the back wheel off the ground so that I can spin it. I could also lift the front or back wheels off the ground if I have to change a tire. There you go. This is all the crap I carry when I do a backcountry discovery route. Okay, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you have any questions, ask away. I'll do my very, very best to answer them. And if you guys have any suggestions, I'm all ears. I'm always for that. I certainly am not an expert in any of this, and everybody always surprises me with little tips that they'll give, like, hey, did you ever think of, and of course I can't think of one right now, hey, did you ever think of carrying this on your trip that'll take the place of those 3 things? I'll be like, that's genius. Why didn't I think of that? Because I'm not a genius. All y'all are. Okay. So anyways, that's enough. Thank you so much for watching. I've got to go pack all this stuff back up and then set the tent up so that I can get a good night's sleep and get the last 2 sections in tomorrow. Yeah, I think I can do 2 sections tomorrow. All right, thanks for watching. All right, and everybody's tucked away. I'm gonna make some dinner, and I'm gonna crawl in my tent. This is why I have a 2-man tent, to keep everything out of the rain. And you know what? I don't care what that guy says, it's gonna rain.